Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Parent and Family Information Night. I'm Jen Kravitz, I'm the principal. We have like a little bit of kind of overview information. I'm gonna start us off, but then I can also get some like markers and paper if people are looking for that for kids. And then we won't hold you too long, but hopefully we won't overwhelm you with information also. MCTV is here filming, and so we'll also get the recording out. So if you're not here, you know some, or like, not, you're here obviously, but if you know somebody who's not here or you want to watch it again, that's also an option. So our agenda is a welcome, kind of give you information about the whole school, talk about a day in kindergarten, what your child should bring, homeschool communication, how to get your child ready for this summer. The Mary Hogan counseling team, Jenna Hogan's here, and then Leanne Lucier, who's an incoming kindergarten parent, but also a current parent and staff member, will be talking about MESA, our parent organization. Sound good? All right. So Mary Hogan, this is just kind of nitty gritty. So arrival is from 8 to 8:10 in the morning, which is slightly different than this year. So if you're paying attention, slightly different. 8 to 8:10. And so we ask that your kids arrive between 8 and 8:10. It doesn't mean that they're not here at 8 on the dot. It's okay. You're right. There's a 10-minute buffer. The buses get here during that time. If you want to park and walk your child in, you can do that. If you want to just drop them off, we have a pretty clear traffic flow. We'll make sure that people are out there at the beginning of the year. But there's basically like 2 columns where people can drop off, and then after you've dropped off and make sure that everybody is safe, you can kind of go through the middle line. Dismissal is at about 2:55. It will be a little different. It might vary by a minute or two. We just need to get the final schedule out. But about 2:55 in the afternoon. Kindergarten's really good about getting out a few minutes early, and they meet people right by if you're picking up, they meet parents right by the stop sign. That's like as you come out and you go around the bus circle, that stop sign right around the corner. You've gotten a lot of forms for registration. If you haven't gotten them in to Jill LeBurge, that's the person to get them to. She's actually been out of the office with an ill family member for the past week and a half, and so she'll be back. So if you haven't heard from her, don't worry, she's just attending to her family. But she does kindergarten registration. She's great. She'll help you with if you have any questions or if you need any help with any of the forms. And along the way, we send a lot of information. A lot of our information is sent by email, and so if you don't check your email, you get in the habit of starting to check it. I find that I sometimes will call people and make robocalls to give general information, but it's typically in the case of an emergency and not typically on a regular basis, mostly because what happens is that I call and nobody picks up because they don't know the number, and then they don't listen to their message, and then I get 25 calls or more, or 50 calls back into me, and so it just is an inefficient process most of the time. But if there's an emergency, I called home more recently because Mary Johnson canceled their after school program, and I just let parents know. Or we had a day where we had no running water at the start of the day, and so I just called and let people know, as well as emailed. So we do often email a lot of information. We also share information on our Instagram site. If you can choose whether, if you can opt out of having photos. We never use names on Instagram. We just use pictures. But that's always you'll have the right to opt out of that if you don't want. And then I also send a weekly newsletter, and then kindergarten teachers can talk about their communication home. But the weekly newsletter will have upcoming events. It will have information about the MESA meetings. It will have information about what's happening in the school, trying to give you little snapshots. It will have information from the district. And it will also have photos of the week, which is just kind of like an amalgamation of all the pictures that people have either sent me or have taken. Not all of them, but trying to pick some of the best ones and some ones that maybe didn't get shared on Instagram, some that did. And that's kind of our communication home. We also encourage you to reach out to your child's kindergarten teachers if you have questions, and they'll respond in a timely manner. And if you have concerns, for sure, start with them. They're the quarterbacks, on your child's team here. Let's see, food service and meals. Our food is great. It's amazing. I regularly eat lunch. The staff members regularly eat lunch with the kids. It's really, really good. There's always a vegetarian option as well as a regular, if there's meat, there's a meat option or a regular option. So today was like meatballs and pasta and spaghetti sauce. Another day last week was fish and chips. I got lunch that day and I was like, I don't really want fish and chips, but I just got all the side salads. There's tons of side salads. It was a great lunch. I strongly encourage you to consider having your child get lunch. They'll go through the line, there'll be a hot lunch option. They can always choose a sandwich. And then there's a salad bar. And at the beginning of kindergarten, it takes a while for the kindergartners to get used to the salad bar. But they're like pros at it now. They're very good. But the meals are really good. We also have breakfast every day. And kids can come in and get breakfast. Typically, kids come in and get breakfast if they're hungry. They may have already had a meal at home. They may not have. We don't generally check, have you eaten yet? But we encourage kids to get meals. Sometimes kids pick up a breakfast and hold on to it for their snack during the day. This year, all school meals are free. The legislature passed a school meals bill to make it free next year. It has to be signed, so hopefully that will be the case. But it's pretty great. And when kids get meals, they have a badge, and it just gets scanned. That has their account on it. The only thing that does get potentially charged to you as families is if your child only gets milk. So milk is not a meal, so there's a charge for milk. But if they get a whole meal with milk, they don't get charged. So it's kind of a weird thing, but it's just the way things go. So often we'll just encourage kids to get a meal, right? Because you get your milk with it. Health information. Becky McKee is our nurse. She couldn't be here tonight. She did, I have both letters from her as well as kind of a handbook about the nurse's office if you are interested. She's a pretty amazing nurse. She's been a school nurse for many years. She has 4 kids who have come through Mary Hogan and are still at Mary Hogan. And she's really caring. The kids get to know her. They really like her. Sometimes they visit often. But generally we say, if you're going to go see the nurse, it's for bleeding, or it's the 7 B's: bleeding, barfing, blood. It's they all start with B. There's a whole file. But generally, little things get dealt with in the classroom. Often what kids want when they go see her are ice packs. I thought myself I needed an ice pack. And then and they get ice packs. So she's great. She's really good if your child has a medical condition or if they need medicine during the day. She's really good. She's very communicative. And she's really a huge asset to Mary Hogan. So great. And there are just a lot of amazing things that happen at Mary Hogan, and you'll hear about that from the teachers, but there are just awesome things that happen here every day, and they're from little things from Julie Shondu's class was helping the 2nd graders with their measurement unit last week, and the kindergartners were very serious. To buddy classrooms, so the kindergartners have 5th grade buddies. And they were participating in the taiko drumming, and they're investigating the world, and they're out playing games in the woods or tending the garden. They're just out and about and doing some pretty awesome learning. The last thing is helping at Mary Hogan. I'll send this out. I'll have Meg send this out to you all. But there's a link to a JOT form about volunteering. So the way volunteering works, and it's a little cumbersome, but if you want to volunteer in the school or if you want to go on a field trip, you need to sign up in advance. And it takes a couple weeks. If you want to go on a field trip, you actually have to be an unsupervised volunteer, which means you have to get a background check and fingerprinting, and it's to ensure kids' safety. Even though it's cumbersome, like it is ensuring your child's safety. And that just takes a little bit. So what we found this year is that when a field trip comes up, people want to go and help and chaperone, but there's not enough time between like doing the forms and like the field trip. So we're encouraging everybody, like if you think you might want to do it next year, you should just sign up. And every year, you only have to do it once. Every year the district will then say, hey, do you still want to volunteer this year? And you just say yes, and you're done. Like from now until their 12th grade year. So you only have to do it once. I think that's it, other than Stephen McKinney, who's in the back, is the assistant principal. And so he and I work pretty closely together to support students. And so you'll see me, you'll see him, and a good team. Okay? It's a lot of talking. Sorry. All right. All right, here are the kindergarten teacher all-stars. This is a picture from them last year. They've updated their shirts for this year. They're still Mary Hogan shirts, but and they're still all-stars. So Megan Sears, Franny Gould, Dana Bibb, and Julie Shamdu. Take it away.
Thanks. Should we stand?
Yeah, you go up there.
You don't want to
I
stand together?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I thought we might all do it together.
Solidarity. Yeah. Who's first?
I think you are.
Yeah, we gotta look at the next
No,
slide.
I'm not first.
No, you're
Oh, okay.
last.
Oh, just kidding.
Go
Do
ahead.
you want us to skip ahead?
No.
Go back to
Go
Jen.
back to the,
Ooh,
so we know
No,
what
we
order
know what
we're
we're doing. Hold on. The slides got.
we're very good at our jobs. This isn't our jobs. This is something new for us.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, there.
A day in kindergarten.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, my name is Megan Sears, and I'm going to talk about a day in kindergarten. So this is a general overview. Obviously, there might be minor variations between the four of our rooms, but generally, kids come in the morning. Like Jen said, they are offered breakfast when they come in, so that is a time when kids can either have snack or breakfast when they arrive. In some spaces, if kids have eaten, then there might be a quiet kind of choice time, playtime as the day gets started. After that, we have morning meeting, which is part of our responsive classroom framework, and that's a time where we come together as a classroom community. We read a morning message together, kind of learn about what's happening in our day. We do a greeting, we do an activity, and really work on that classroom community building. After morning meeting, classes might go outside or do some sort of movement activity before shifting into some small and large group instruction. That usually takes up a chunk of our morning time. So then we'll flash forward to lunch. This year, and I think it'll be around the same time next year, students have lunch at 11, and we eat in the cafeteria. And again, the cafeteria in August versus the cafeteria in May looks very different, but we're all there, and there's lots of hands on deck to help navigate the cafeteria. And as Jen said, there's a hot lunch option, there's usually a sandwich alternative, and the salad bar. After lunch, students go out to recess. We have 2 recess spaces, Hawk Zone, which is our big playground out front, and then the little playground out behind our classrooms out here. After lunch, we usually come in and have a quiet time. We don't have a formal nap time, but we all have kind of this afternoon, after recess, reset, quiet activity. We'll read stories and just kind of let ourselves get settled for the afternoon. And then after quiet time, this year in our schedule, we go to a special. So our specials are library, music, art, and PE. And we go to each of those once, PE twice a week. And then after that, that's kind of taken us to the mid-afternoon. we'll have one more kind of shot of large or small group instruction, depending on, again, kind of the classroom. And then usually there's some afternoon choice time, and I should say throughout the day there's opportunity for play. That's one of the really amazing things about kindergarten is we weave play into our learning. Even if it's literacy instruction, we weave in play. If it's math instruction, we're weaving in play. And then in the afternoon we have another afternoon snack, and that can be a snack that students brought from home, or as Jen mentioned, some kids when they get to school in the morning and get the school breakfast, they might save that and have that for their afternoon snack. So that can either be a snack brought from home or that breakfast option. And then we pack up and we have a second recess to conclude our day before dismissal. So that's a broad overview. Like I said, it kind of differentiates between each room with like specific time chunks, but that's generally a day in kindergarten. Yeah.
Thanks, Megan.
Can we come?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So much better than a day, right?
Well, if you fill out the job form and become a volunteer, you can come and spend time in our classroom. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna talk about what your child should bring. Obviously, your kid needs a backpack, but not just any backpack. Kindergartners need quite a large backpack, like an elementary size backpack. It might actually look ridiculous on your kid in September, but a lot of things will go in the backpack, including but not limited to drawings that they've made, drawings that their friends have made, projects that they've made in class, art projects that they've made in art class, library books, their water bottle, their snack bag, rocks, like anything could find their way into the backpack. Pack up is a new thing for kindergartners, and having like a big open space to kind of pile things in is helpful. So just make sure you have a nice big backpack with some smooth zippers. So every day they should bring a water bottle. We can fill them here, but you can send them with a full water bottle. A snack, as Megan said, if you choose to send a snack, something small and healthy, just to sort of get them to the end of the day. And extra clothes. So it's fine with us if you want to keep those extra clothes here. They can also just live in the backpack, but everything, like extra socks, extra underwear, everything should be labeled with their name, including like each sock should have their name on it. Spills and accidents happen all the time in kindergarten. It's really helpful that they just have some things to change into. And then, extra shoes if it like seems like they might want extra shoes, if it's like a wet day or if it's the weather is changing, or just layers and things like that. And we'll be good about checking their extra clothes supply to see if things are getting kind of short or like they're not seasonally appropriate. So those are important things. And then the last thing really is their take-home folder, which Dana will talk about that. So
Also
off and
needs to
away.
fit into their backpack.
Their big backpack, yeah.
I'll start with the take-home folder. So all of us send home red folders at the start of the school year, and that's a really good place for you to stick any notes that you need to send in to us. And we send home a lot of their papers and any information that we might want you to have. Sometimes we put field trip forms in there. Sometimes we have other like registration forms that we send in it, but mostly we use it to send home their Friday work from the week. Friday work is not homework. It's literally the papers that they did during the week. Don't worry, there's no homework. And we also send home newsletters from just us every week. Our newsletter usually shares some things that we did during the week, questions you can ask your child so that you can form some conversation at home other than just shoulder shrugs and they just don't want to talk because it's been a busy day. And so we use those. And the best way to communicate with us if you need something is to send us an email. We do all have classroom phones, but we don't really answer them. Sometimes we do, but email is the best. If you have a change of plans that are like an immediate change throughout the day, you should call the front office because we don't always get a chance to check our email at all points of the day. As you heard from Megan, our day is pretty busy, so we usually check like midday, and then end of the day, if there's any plans, just call Lori in the front office, and she's really good about calling us on those classroom phones. We answer when Lori calls.
We have to
What
keep
else?
ringing.
I know, we keep ringing. Lori's really good about getting in touch with us. What else? We send home, the school has like a special colored notepad at the beginning of the school year that we will send with you so that we know to find these notes. It's like a color-coded system. I think they're like an orangish yellow this year. So if your child has a different dismissal plan than usual and you know it in the morning, you can just write a note on that and send it in. And it's a good way for us to know. It's like a red flag for us. So anything else? Pretty simple. Email.
Well, can you say that one again? I have no idea.
Oh, yellow, I just asked them, anything else? That was my.
No,
notepad.
the
Oh, the yellow notepad?
Yeah.
The school sends home, just like a yellow notepad at the beginning of the school year, and we send them out a couple times a year that if you have dismissal plans that are different
Just a
than
stack
the
of
usual
blank
plan.
ones that.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
got
like
it.
a special form that we just have in the office, and it's really helpful for us, so.
There's a line that says kid name, student name, date,
Got it.
instead of, just scrawling on a
Perfect,
piece of
perfect.
paper.
Also, can we rewind before we go to, because I just realized I forgot two important things.
Oh, okay.
I was
thought you
talking-
were interrupting. I thought I
Well,
messed up.
no,
Go ahead,
you're
Corinne.
doing
Go
great.
ahead. Great.
Of course, if you want to send a lunch with your child, you can and you should. So you'll want to make sure you pack them a lunchbox, and just same thing, sort of like a lunchbox that fits inside their backpack that they can open, containers that they can open independently. We're gonna help them for sure, but just you want them to have like a little practice time before they're seeing like a new container with new snaps for the first time. And then there are some things they shouldn't bring to school. Really, just toys from home should stay at home. It creates problems for them and for us, and even like little things should just really stay at home. We have so many toys here that we're happy to share. So, yeah.
That makes me think of, we had a meeting with the other district kindergarten teachers today, and one of them was mentioning share in their room this morning. Another thing not to bring is a dead bird for share.
Oh yes, don't bring a dead bird.
Don't
What
send
was
a
that,
dead bird
dead
for
bird?
A
share.
dead bird.
Or at least send an email and say, hey, we were doing some investigating.
And it was not sealed. It wasn't sealed in a bag.
Oh, that was shocking.
It was
Yeah.
Well, that's just, of course you sealed it.
Yeah, it wasn't sealed.
Thanks for including what not to bring.
Yeah, it's
A
important.
dead bird. Okay.
All right, I am going to chat about some things that you can be thinking about this summer, of how to get your child ready for kindergarten through the summer. And one of the first things is to be chatty, have conversations. Have conversations as your family, have conversations with people outside of your family. Have your kindergartner talk to all sorts of people and just build that ability to talk to other people and have conversations. If you're at the grocery store, the park, or on a walk, the back and forth conversations are really important. Keep that going. It builds their language, their vocabulary, their confidence skills. So keep being chatty with your kiddo. Number 2, the easiest way to get ready for kindergarten, read aloud with your kiddo every day. Your child learns so much from it, and it builds the connection between you. Reading to kids is one of my favorite things to do during the day. It's a time to stop and just be together, share a story together, and talk about a story and laugh at a story. So read with your child every day. Practice those independent skills. We want to foster and build their independence throughout the year. If they can come and be ready with independent bathroom skills, dressing and undressing, opening items in their lunchbox, separating from you and their caregivers, knowing their full name, following 2-step directions would be awesome. Shoes and boots that they can manage on their own. Just think about all those little things that when they're here that you want them to do on their own. Be a kindergarten cheerleader. Play kindergarten at home, go to the playground, think of a fun way to say goodbye and hello, like maybe a secret handshake. Be enthusiastic about kindergarten. Your excitement is going to wear off on them. So let them know that you're excited for them to go to kindergarten. Play and learn together, play games, imaginative play, songs and chants. We love to sing with our kindergartners. We sing together, we get together every other Friday. All of us and sing together. We kind of feel like we're on The View or The Talk when we're up, and we get to lead the show. We love to sing with them. All sorts of things that you can do together and build your time together. We also love to do that here. Experiences. Think about all the things that you can be doing together, building their background knowledge and their vocabulary through experiences. That is super important for these little beginning readers. All the background knowledge that they have about places and things and ideas all serves into becoming a reader and becoming enthusiastic about school. Be active and also practice fine motor activities too, which we'll be practicing a lot with us. Cutting and drawing lines, and zipping and unzipping, all those little fine motor things are important too. Keep up the play dates, practicing taking turns and sharing and listening and cooperating, helping them learn what is acceptable behavior. Of course, we'll be working on all those things as well. And don't forget about sleep. This is my last one. About a month before school starts, start working towards that back to school schedule with bedtime and wake up. Remember, 5-year-olds need 11 to 12 hours of sleep per day. They won't be sleeping here. Typically, they don't sleep here. And they're going to be tired at the end of the day, especially when kindergarten starts. The first year I taught kindergarten, I went home and cried every day because I was so tired. I did that for like a month. So their little bodies, they're holding it together so well for us all day long. They might lose it on you as soon as they see you. Their most favorite person in the world, they're exhausted, they're tired. So just really think about helping them get the sleep they need so that they come to us, they can hold it together again for another day. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Jen Hogan. I'm on the counseling team. I'm one of the school counselors here at Mary Hogan School. We have 2 school counselors. The other school counselor's name is Mary Tausig. We also have 2 school-based clinicians here at Mary Hogan. They're contracted through the counseling services of Addison County, and they work with more of like a specific caseload, whereas Mary and I work with the entire school. And what we do is we really help kids be successful, not just in the classroom setting, but in all the settings that they interact in within our school and also outside of our school. And we do that through providing social emotional learning. We go into the classrooms and do guidance classes once a week for 30 minutes, and those classes consist of teaching them second step, which is around emotional regulation. It's also around teaching them skills in empathy, skills in learning, and skills in problem solving. We also do Kelso's Choices, which is conflict management skills. And then we also do lessons on bullying prevention and also on a child protection unit, which is around skills around being safe in our environment. So those are some of the things that we teach. We also do individual counseling as well as group counseling. And we're really just there to support the kids throughout anything that comes up, because sometimes we do have things that happen at home or at school and kids need help just problem solving it or talking it out. So kids can sometimes ask to see us, or you, the parent, can sometimes ask for your child to see us as well. Sometimes you can even just ask the teachers, and the teachers will reach out to us so we can check in with the kid, because all sorts of things come up throughout our life. So that's really what we do as the school counselors, and Julie really touched base on some of the things to do to help your child prepare for kindergarten, so keep those things in mind. But if you have any concerns or worries, please feel free to reach out to either the kindergarten teachers or to me and Mary as well, because we're here to help and support. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Leanne, you're up.
All right.
Hi everybody, I'm Leanne Lucier. Jen said that I'm a kindergarten mom already, and I have another student that comes here, and he's in first going into second, and I'm a staff member here as well. But I am here to talk to you tonight about MESA, which is, here I'm going to move away from standing right in front of it, stands for Mary Hogan's Middlebury Elementary School Association. So what that is, it's our PTO. It's the parent-teacher organization that we have. And so I'm the secretary this year, and will be next year. And we have a great group of other parents that are on it. So Alicia Butler, who has a preschooler as well, is the president. Casey McDonough is treasurer. Adrian McIntyre is our events chair. And Hannah Harding and Rebecca Bennett are the readathon co-chairs. So what's really great about MESA is that we are able to do lots of fundraising that help fund a lot of really great events and teacher appreciation and field trips for all of the students that go here. but we're also really great at supporting events that are happening. And so we like to do at least one event each month that give all of the families a time to connect with the school. In addition, we do one event a month for teacher appreciation events to show the staff how much we care and appreciate what they do for our students every day. And so to organize all of that, we meet once a month on the third Thursday of each month in the library here. And every month we start at 6:30 with a roundtable topic that Jen hosts. So she starts by talking about some of those things. So for instance, the month we just had was talking about kind of the year in summary and wrapping up and any changes that might be happening next year. The month before that, we talked about the social emotional learning programs that happen at school. The month before that, we were talking about progress reports. And so there's a lot of like really relevant topics that I feel like parents really care about and would want to come. So you can come for that. And then at 7, our business meeting starts. And so what that usually looks like is things might be like giving updates about events that are coming up. So we just finished our teacher appreciation luncheon event that we did. So we were talking about that. We had finished a teacher raffle, so we talked about that. So those are kinds of the top topics that we talk about there. And here are some pictures of the stuff that we've done. So right here is a teacher appreciation, I think this was for, I can't remember which month it was, February. We did like snacks and coffees for the teachers in the staff room. This is a picture of Henry. He's the readathon. That's my son Henry. He dressed up as Harry Potter for the readathon for that month. And then we did, was like a little advertisement that we did when we were selling the Peace Crab hats for the school. So Mike Kin did a mural, the mural that's on the side of the school, and we took a piece of his art and put it on a hat and sold those as a fundraiser. So if you see those around town, that's what that's from, and it helped fund events for the school. And they were actually on sale during a family skate. So that's another event that we do every winter, is hold a free family skate event at the arena here. So those are some of the events that we have. I have a handout that you can take at the end that kind of gives all of the information if you're interested, and a sign-up sheet up here, so that way if you want to sign up to be on our mailing list,
I'll put
perfect.
the table right
Thank
outside
you.
the door.
You can put your name and email if you want information. And there's also a column if you are interested in volunteering, because that's the other thing I wanted to mention was Mesa doesn't run without volunteers. And so what I wanted to really iterate while I was here talking to you all was that we have opportunities to fit every need, because we know how busy everybody is. So if you are willing to volunteer a ton of time, great, we'll take it. But if you don't have any time, like you have 5 minutes here and there, we'll take that too, right? Like there's opportunities for everybody. And if you literally have no time but you really want to support, we always take donations, whether that is in the form of prizes for things like the raffle, right? If you have things that you want to donate for raffles. If you have art and craft and classroom supplies, we'll take that too. We also have Venmo and PayPal accounts that it's so easy to just donate any amount of money at any time. So some of the things that we look for volunteers for each year is our biggest event is the readathon, and that takes a lot of volunteer because we have different events like a kickoff event where the kids like walk around the property, or we do like give books away for each of the free books for each of the kids in the classroom. We need someone to like help hand out books for an hour. Then we have like the monthly teacher appreciation events, which are really small. They range in size from like doing just setting up like the beverages and refreshments in the teacher lounge to something that's like a little bigger, like the teacher luncheon. We are helping out with field day that's coming up on June 8th. And then of course we do a lot of different fundraising events, which include things like holding a concession stand at the town parks and rec for tournament season. So like staffing that and selling different refreshments. So there's a little bit of everything, and you can do what you're comfortable with. How it usually works if you're interested in volunteering is if you have your email and you've said that you've been interested in volunteering, we'll send you like Sign Up Genius links so that you can sign up for what you're comfortable with. If you haven't signed up for volunteering like halfway through the year, you're like, yeah, I'd like to sign up, just send us an email, right? Say, I'm interested in volunteering, how can I join, right? Or you can come to one of our meetings, right? So you can attend our meetings, they happen once a month, they're usually about an hour and a half, but you don't have to stay the whole time. And they're more regular schedules, so you can anticipate them a little bit more. We convey information, like Jen said, through the monthly newsletter. She'll always put in little Mesa blurbs. Sometimes we'll send out separate emails, like about Field Day, for instance. That's coming up, and that's more of an event that has a lot more information involved, so we might have a separate email for that. And we have a link on the website. So if you go to acsd.bt.org and you click on Middlebury and Parents, we have a page on there that I like to keep updated with the upcoming events, links to sign up, and links to like PayPal and Venmo if you want to donate money. So that is kind of Mesa in summary. You know, I think during COVID it was a lot harder to do events, and our parent following kind of shrunk a little bit. So I really want to emphasize that we are looking for any and all input, help, support, collaboration from all of you. So with that, I will leave the sign up if you want to put your name and your email and whether or not you're interested in volunteering, and we will include you. And then you can take a handout if you're not sure you want to commit at this level yet. So thanks, Jen.
Yeah, and so it's right outside the door with the handouts from Nurse Becky.
We love Mesa.
Yeah.
Well, we love Mary Hogan. We're super great place.
Yeah, we're super grateful for like the partnership, because I think that the partnership means that everybody benefits, right? And we know that parents and families are such an important part of a kid's team that we want to work together with you. And if it means like you can come in every week, great. And if it means you come in once a year, that's okay too. Like, right? And whatever works for you. This is one of my favorite pictures of the year, just so you know. It's just so cute.
Was that dismissal?
Is that dismissal?
Waiting
Two
for the
good
grown-ups.
So I had some thoughts while people were talking. One is just a quick tip as a parent, because I have a 3rd grader and a 4th grader who still bring extra clothes, even though they don't think they need them. If you put it in a Ziploc bag, it stays nice and fresh at the bottom of bags. So,
Good tip.
yeah, it's been helpful this year. So June 19th from 9 to 10:30, we'll have a kinder camp at Mary Hogan. Please RSVP. You can do that by telling Jill. You can write to me if you want, but Jill's probably the best person. You can write to Meg Baker, who's the UPK coordinator, because I know kids came for an initial visit. They may be with the same teacher, they may be with different teacher, they may be with the same group, they may be with a different group. We're looking at the lists and mixing them up a little bit next week, actually. And at 10:30, I'm going to get some popsicles, and we'll just have some free play out on the playground, hoping it's a nice day, so that like you can see, you can meet and greet. In late June, after kinder camp, you'll get placement letters so that your child will know who their teacher is, one of these fabulous teachers. With placement letters, we'd really like to provide the class lists with contact information so that you can reach out to people in your child's class to be like, hey, we're in class together, want to have a play date, want to meet at the playground. If you don't want your information on that list, your child's name will probably still be on it so they can see who's in their class, unless you really don't want that. But if you don't want your phone number or your email on that, please let us know. If I don't hear from you, I will assume you want it included, okay? In early August, you'll get a welcome back letter from Mary Hogan from me. In late August, that's when you'll see the bus routes, the food service information, free and reduced lunch meal applications. We ask everyone to fill out the free and reduced meal applications, even if you don't think you'll qualify, because we get about $500,000 every year, and there are 4 positions at our school that are paid for because we qualify for Title I funds. So it's really, really important that everybody possible fills it out, because we might catch some people who don't know they qualify. And you can just qualify, like if your child has 2 homes, if one household qualifies, they still qualify. And then we'll also have, right before the start of the school year, a visit day, whether it's the day right before or 2 days before, where they can come in, the classroom will be set up, we'll welcome kids in, and there'll be information about that. So that'll be kind of an extra time to see everything. And then the 30th is the first day of school. I think I updated them. So. Yeah, so there's not a lot of time left before your child is in kindergarten. And I think what Julie said is really important. Even if you're nervous and you're feeling all the feels about kindergarten and your child going to kindergarten for the first time, or it's your last child going to kindergarten, it's okay to feel all those things. And it's just like it's okay for the kindergartners to feel nervous and excited, and it's really important that you convey faith that they're going to be okay, and that if there are any challenges, like, they have a big team and we can work on it together. The more faith you can convey to them, the more settled they'll feel, even if you're not feeling that way. So I know when I sent my daughter to kindergarten into Julie's class, like, I was nervous because it was just a new place and she didn't know anyone. Like, she knew no one in her class, and she was fine. Right? She was just fine. She made really good friends that first day. All right?
It's okay for you to cry in your car afterwards. They don't have to know about it.
And having a strategy for how you're going to say bye if they're, like, holding onto your leg and crying. Like, think about, how do you want to say bye? Because honestly, in my experience, I've been here 4 years, and I was a principal in 4 years in Cornwall before then. The cleaner the goodbye is, even if they're crying, the faster they get over it. So it will feel terrible as a parent, but we've got them. Okay?
You're looking right at. I have a rising.
No,
I also have a rising kindergartner.
I was looking
so I'm like,
around.
okay.
I was not looking at you, Franny.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, so we'll be around if you have questions for us. Otherwise, thank you so much for coming, and we hope to see your kids on the 19th. Okay?
Thanks, everybody.